Hi, today I'm going to lead you through the basic formatting and setting up of your essays, pointing out some of the ways that students sometimes go astray. You can follow along with the script on the right-hand side if you'd like. To begin with, I've opened up a new Microsoft Word document. If you don't have MS Word, you'll have to figure out the commands on your own in your own program, but they should be fairly similar. My copy of Word is on a Mac and is a little older, so you might have to look around to find similar commands in your version of Microsoft Word. To begin with, though, you'll need to insert a page number, which you do like this. I'm going to go up here, insert page numbers. I want mine at the top of the page and on the right. I can do all kinds of formatting things here, but I'm just going to keep it very simple like that. Voila. There's a number 1 right up here. Okay, the next thing that we want to do is to put in a header. Okay, let me go ahead and get started here. No! This is the first thing that you don't want to do. In high school, you put the header on the right margin. But according to MLA formatting for college, for English papers in particular, your heading goes on the left margin. So I'm just going to move it over here. If you don't have a toolbar like this, then you can go up to Format, Paragraph, and choose where you'd put it. So your name comes first, then your teacher's name, the class number, and the date. Hit return one time, and you're ready to put in a title. Now, let's go ahead and I'll just say title for right now, because we need to fix this just a little bit here. We want to make this so that it's double spaced. So let me go up here again. I'm going to go to Format Paragraph and say double spacing. And actually, I wanted everything to be double spaced, so I'm going to choose this too. Format Paragraph and double space. Okay, so we're a little bit better here as we get going. The next thing I want to do is I want this to be centered. So I'm just going to click here. I could also go up to Format, Paragraph, and Center for this. Hit return. You'll see I'm still centered, so I'll put it over on the left-hand margin. Tap the tab one time, and I'm ready to go ahead and start writing. Now, let's go back up here. I'm just going to put in a the. We'll come back to that in a second. Got to do something with that title. Got to make that better, right? Let's try something. Okay, first of all, title of a published essay goes in quotation marks, but that is a terrible title. Just awful. This is your first shot at grabbing the reader's attention, and a boring, unoriginal title is the kiss of death. Let's try something a little bit stronger. So I'm going to select that and try something like Escaping the Cave. A little bit better there. I think that'll work for now. If I have time, I'll come back after the paper's over and see if I can create something a little stronger, a little bit more original, but for now, it's okay. And it is already centered, so I don't have to fix that. So let's get back to the body of the paper. I want to go ahead and get started. So let's start typing in Plato's The Allegory of the Cave. He talks about knowledge. Nah, that won't do it all. If you just read that sentence by itself, would you want to continue reading this paper? I know I wouldn't. It's boring. Your first sentence is your chance to really hook the reader. So you want to do something that's going to get that reader to sit up and to pay attention to what you're doing. So let's try something a little stronger. I'm going to start with a quote this time, a quote from The Matrix. You take the blue pill. The story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. End quote. Okay, I'm beginning with a quotation here, a little epigram to begin things. If I did this anyplace else in the paper, I wouldn't do that, but since it's at the very beginning, I am going to italicize it. So I'm just sort of leading into things here and then get rid of the italics, and I will go ahead and start by talking about this a little bit. And I'm going to say, in this scene from, if I could type, in this scene from The Matrix, and since The Matrix is title of a movie, movie titles like book titles are italicized, so I will italicize that. In the scene from The Matrix, Neo learns that everything he thinks is wrong. Over 2,000 years ago, the Greek philosopher Plato suggested that we are all a little like Neo. In The Allegory of the Cave, it's a published allegory or essay, so it goes in quotation marks, Plato suggests that trusting our senses often blinds us to the truth. Okay, and that's it. Oops, it's not a quote. That's it. The intro that I have is okay. I want to make it a little bit stronger. I'll come back to it, but I've got something that'll begin, something which will get me started, and I kind of like the way that it's set up. It starts with an interesting quote from something that's fairly similar. I could have done other things there. You know, quotations aren't the only way. I could have used a startling statistic. I could have used a hypothetical question. I could have told an anecdote. This time I chose to use a quote. Okay, I want to make sure the whole thing is double spaced. It looks like it is. I want to check the font, make sure that the font is size 12 in something normal. I've got Cambria here. I know the most standard one is probably Times. So, oops, I got the whirly ball. If I wanted to, I could go up here and let's go ahead and make this Times New Roman. Put that in there, and I'm ready to go for paragraph number 2. And that's really just about it. The last thing I'm going to do after I do the spell checking is I'm going to go back and I'm going to save this twice. I'm going to do a save as draft SA1, something like that. I'll save it on my desktop here so that I can throw it away after I'm done with it here, but you don't want to throw it away. And then the other thing I'm going to do is I am going to erase all of this. I'm going to do File, Save As. Make sure it's Save As so you don't overwrite the other one. And I'm going to save this as MLA formatted paper. Saving it again on the desktop. And then, when I'm ready to write essay number 2, all I have to do is come in here, update the date, go to the title, write in a better title. I've already got the 4-line heading. I've already got the page number here. Everything else set up, and so I am ready to go. And that's it for your first page.